Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know last video I said I wasn't sure if I was going to continue with the channel, but I've decided to just keep it there for whatever random content I want to throw out there and share with you, whoever's interested in listening and practicing me talking to the camera. You know, it's all a process, it's a creative process. So while I'm on a roll, I thought I would do another video this week, and this week's video is all about my journey with yoga. So yoga has become quite a huge part of my lifestyle. In fact, I would say I live a yogic lifestyle, and that's the life I've kind of created for myself, you know, as a conscious, spiritual person. It's about mindfully living in every moment, because the definition of yoga is mind, body, spirit connection at all times. So yoga doesn't necessarily have to mean the poses, the asanas. That's one limb of yoga, but there's 8 limbs of yoga, and you can really make yoga a lifestyle. So where did it all begin? I've always had passion for movement. I was a dancer growing up, performer, and this is another video I've got to do, which I will do. But when my career per se in dancing kind of fell through around the age of 18, after my full-time training, I didn't get an agent. I didn't go down that path. So I thought, well, what else would I like to do? It had to be around movement. There was nothing else I was interested in. So I went and studied to be a trainer, a fitness trainer, and working in gyms. And so then when I found the gym a little bit too superficial for me, and I still felt like something was lacking, and people kept talking to me about weight loss all the time, and I just realized there is so many layers going on here. There is so much psychological and emotional work at play. So I really had to go and go on my own journey of healing for me first. That's what drew me into yoga. That's how I found yoga, so that I could potentially help people in the way that they need to be helped. Because sometimes it's not, they think it's superficial what they want, but actually there's a lot of internal stuff going on. And this is why I found yoga so fascinating, because of the research I did on it. That is what yoga does. It works on the inner layers. So I went to my first yoga class with a friend at a local yoga studio, my first Bikram yoga class. Don't know if anybody's done a Bikram yoga class, but if you have, I love it. I fell in love. The first class, we were laughing because everybody was so serious and in the zone and disciplined. And even though we'd both come from a ballet dance, it's very strict, we were used to the discipline. It was just weird in a yoga studio, and it was like a big sauna, and it was really hot, and the mirrors were heating up, and it was just a surreal experience when everybody started with the breathing exercise. Anyway, so a Bikram yoga class is 26 postures and 2 breathing exercises. And yeah, I think after our first class, we were a bit like, I don't know if we're going back to that. It wasn't like an instantly falling in love thing for me. Yoga has been a gradual journey for me. So yoga always stayed a part of my life. I think I ended up going back to class because the yoga just draws you in. It's just magic. So over the years, I kept coming back to yoga, until I really had like some visions that I thought, I do want to teach yoga. I could see myself on the podium teaching this yoga. I fell in love with the Bikram style hot yoga. And at the time that I decided I wanted to do this, I did not have the money for the training, because Bikram, the man, is a little controversial. He has some talk surrounding his name, and from what I'd heard with all of his Rolls Royces and things, I was like, do I want to pay this man that amount of money? Because it's quite an expensive training, and I didn't have the money at the time. So I talked to my friend James, who owns a yoga studio, and he hooked me up with a good price doing a teacher training in power yoga, which is like vinyasa yoga. So I was like, cool, okay, I'll get that experience under my belt and I'll do that training, get into yoga and maybe start teaching that yoga. But my first day of that training, I was crying because I was just like, it's not what I want to do. I wanted to do Bikram yoga. But I felt it was going to be beneficial to get some experience with that. So I continued to do it and I went on to teach it in gyms. Then, you know, time passed and I still really wanted to do the Bikram teacher training. So I thought, that's it. That was actually when I broke up with a boyfriend and I started dancing for money, which is in another video. I ran away to become a stripper. That was actually one of the other reasons why I went to dance, was to get the money for this training. And to be honest, I made it pretty quickly. So then I went and there was a training in Thailand, 2014. I booked myself in and I went and did it. And this was the most intensive and one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I met so many amazing friends. I didn't even go with the intention of meeting friends. I just wanted to be a Bikram teacher and come out a Bikram teacher. Leading up to the training, so okay, Bikram yoga is a dialogue-based yoga. So you learn a dialogue to deliver the class. It's like a meditation with the voice, and it instructs everything you need to do through the voice. So I got my hands on a copy of the dialogue and was learning it before the training. I went to Byron Bay and hired a little camper van and just sat in it and was like, I'm not leaving until I've learned this, at least a big chunk of it. And so I did. Like I spent a week learning the dialogue. And so I was very well prepared when I went to training. I knew almost half of the dialogue already, which was a good thing because I got quite distracted at training because I ended up making friends that I never thought I would make and having an amazing time, just living the dream basically, doing 2 yoga classes a day, 2 Bikram yoga classes, and all the fun in between. Look, it wasn't all fun, it was really intense. Bikram would sleep deprive us, make us watch silly Bollywood movies at night. Yeah, but it was such a great experience. I would never trade it for anything. So by the end of the training, I still hadn't learnt the end part of the dialogue and I was really distracted. So to be honest, by the end of the training, I didn't really feel ready to teach a class, but it was all part of the process, trusting this yoga process. So anyway, after the training ended, so I'd made all these friends from around the world. Lots of them were American, Canadian, English. So I spent a couple of years, so I went back. I actually realized that I missed stripping. I know, that wasn't the plan. I was supposed to just get the money, do the training and then teach yoga. But I was like, I miss the club, I miss the money. And I went back to it and I didn't actually start teaching straight away. So I went back and made some more money from the club and hustled up for a trip that I planned for that year, which was, I went to America and Canada and then came back, hustled some more and then did Europe all in 1 year. So it was an amazing year. And I went and visited all my friends from the training. And I had opportunities to teach, I just didn't at that time. I just felt I wasn't ready. Such an amazing year. And actually doing Bikram in all the different studios around the world was such a great experience. And it is something I'd still love to do, teach in different countries and do the traveling teacher thing. So yeah, then anyway, I can't remember when I started, but I ended up diving in the deep end and starting teaching, and you know, to be honest, my teaching journey has been very similar to my yoga journey. It's a part of my life. It's not the whole part of my life. I live my life, I come back to it, and it's always there, like yoga. It's home. But I'm not one of these yogis who was every day 6 a.m. go to the yoga. And same with teaching. It's just, so I need to stop comparing myself to those who are like, I was put on this earth to be a teacher, and all this ego-based stuff, which is relevant to our human experience, and our identity and our livelihood in the world. But to be honest, yoga and teaching is one part of my life, and I'm really grateful for it, because now I've got a couple of private clients who I do yoga with, and I've been teaching at Hot Yoga Studios in Australia, and now I'm moving into teaching in gyms again with this, well, I'm kind of mixing the yoga together now for the gyms, but yeah, I'm grateful for teaching. It's just, I'm probably more passionate about yoga for my body and my mind than I am about teaching, but it's what I've been doing for a bit of income, and so for that I am grateful, and I do enjoy it. This is what it comes down to. I enjoy holding space as a teacher. That's it. That's my dharma, and that's where my dharma ends. I'm not about becoming the best teacher I can be. That's not what I was put on this earth to do. So if somebody wants me to come and hold space as a teacher and deliver my best, I'm happy to do that. But it's not everything. Does that make sense? My passions have always been with performing and being on stage, and yeah, that's what really lights my soul up. But yoga is it's just a part of my life. It's a very rich part of my life that I'm content with. It's not about ego. It's very far removed from that. It's just a part of my lifestyle. So that is kind of my journey with yoga, and it's a never-ending journey, and it continues. And I love all the yoga. I do love, it's funny, your body goes in different waves of what it wants to do. Like I went through a year where I just wanted to do vinyasa, flow. I didn't even want to do Bikram. But now I'm back into, I just want to take Bikram classes. And they're harder and harder to find Bikram studios that only offer Bikram yoga. But I love yin. That's a teacher training I wouldn't mind doing, actually. Yeah, so that's my yoga journey. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. But just letting you know, that's actually what I do for income in my life. And people really do enjoy my classes. I was teaching hot Pilates for a while as well, but not anymore. So yeah, okay, that's this video done. Okay, bye.